All right, this is getting way, way out of hand now. Way out of hand. Tyson Fury better than Lennox Lewis ever was. Hand speed to rival Muhammad Ali. This is because he beat Deontay Wilder, who's not the best at throwing combos. Let's face it. Because when have you ever seen him throw a combo? Have you ever seen him do any slick kind of defense movements? When have you ever seen him beat credible opponents? Never. And as for Dylan White, yeah, who's been overrated his whole career, right? Has punched above his weight his whole career. Not literally, I'm talking about it's the circumstances, right? He's not that. He's not very good. He's not the quickest. He's not fast on his feet. He hasn't got fast hands. Lack of head movement. This was tailor made for Tyson Fury to win. Everybody said so. I was like, if White wins this fight, I'm going to take the piss out of Fury fans. Obviously, it was a long shot. He didn't win, did he? He got knocked out. So Tyson Fury has literally beat two guys who he should be beating. Klitschko, fair enough, he beat Klitschko. Even though Klitschko was 39, Klitschko's still a credible opponent. So Klitschko's the only one, if you think about it, the only top one. And if you want to call Fury the best of this era is not really a strong era, is it? You know, if AJ is the worst boxer in the world now, according to Fury fanboys, is the worst boxer on the planet, even Ronald McDonald could beat Anthony Joshua. And if Usyk is a featherweight, right, that Fury can beat easily, then how is he the greatest of this era? How is he great at all? See, these fanboys are so who come up with all this. It's not just Joe from the public who's a fanboy. It's these talk sport idiots as well, and all the other people that like Fury's asshole. They're all fanboys of Fury because he's English, and you have to big up English sports people. Look at Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire is the most expensive defender on the planet. Oh, bloody hell. Talking about how he's better than Virgil van Dijk a year ago. It took till now for them to realise that he's dog shit. But anyway, I'm not saying that Fury is shit at all. He's good, right? But you cannot say he's the greatest. He's not undisputed. He's not, as far as we know, he's not fighting for the undisputed because he's retiring. And if Usyk or AJ go on to win undisputed, how can you call this man and Tyson Fury the greatest? Even greater than Ali and Lennox Lewis, for God's sake. Jesus. I can guarantee if Muhammad Ali and Lennox Lewis were white men, the skin was white, they wouldn't be saying this. Because why would they? They don't need to. They have to big up Tyson Fury somehow. It's just desperation. It's laughable. Seriously. I can name dozens of boxers in the last 50 years better than Tyson Fury. Just by watching videos of them. But because obviously these fanboys are living this life now, obviously, if they weren't born, some of them weren't even born when Lennox Lewis was winning. This is all they know. So you can kind of give them a little excuse. But people like fucking Frank Warren, who's, 70-year-old, who's lived in the Ali era, the Joe Frazier era, the Josh Foreman era, the Larry Holmes era, the Mike Tyson era, the Evander Holyfield era, the Lennox Lewis era. Even him saying that his bum boy here is the greatest. Bob Arum, who's like 90-year-old, lived in the Rocky Marciano era, the Joe Louis era. He's in this going on like Fury is the greatest when it doesn't make no sense. It's ridiculous how people just jump on a bandwagon so much. It's laughable. Yes, this is good. Yes, he's one of the best. You can't say until he beats Usyk and AJ. You can't say he's the best of this era because he has to fight these guys. If he doesn't, then it's just speculation, isn't it? It's not fact. Until he beats AJ, right? Which I think is a 50-50 fight in terms of if Fury has a skill, AJ has the power, and if AJ brings back his old AJ, he's definitely got a chance of beating Fury. Usyk definitely has a chance of beating Fury if he boxes on the outside and Because I think he's definitely got a bigger gas tank than Fury. Because I'll just based on how fast he moves throughout 12 rounds compared to Fury. So until Fury challenges these guys, calls them out, fights them, or even one of them beats them, then you can claim he's the greatest of this era. And I say again, this era, not of all time. Because you've got John L. Sullivan, the very first champion in the 1880s. You got James A. Jeffries, Jack Johnson, Jack Dempsey, Joe Louis, Archie Moore, Rocky Marciano, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, George Foreman, the Spinks Brothers, Mike Tyson. Obviously I'm missing people out, but I'm talking about the biggest ones, like the biggest names. You can't say he's the greatest of all time just because he's 6'8" /6'9". It doesn't mean shit. You're not the greatest until you prove it.